Hello.
Welcome. We're here today on this glorious Relationship Sunday, and we're here to tell you guys the top 5 reasons relationships go bad.
Now the interesting thing is, I just want to put this disclaimer out here. We ain't got all the answers.
We ain't got all the answers, Sway.
But we just, we have some little tidbits, some nuggets.
Right. Because we're not perfect, okay? I'll tell you that up front. We're not perfect. And we've had our relationship.
Y'all saw that the other week when y'all kept commenting that I had an attitude.
Oh boy. Well, it wasn't with me.
No, it was not.
Right now we're talking about the top 5 reasons relationships go bad.
We have a list. We came up with a list. The list is in no particular order. We just said what we thought the top 5 things were, or what 5 things we thought. So anyway.
Number 5. Number 5 is decision making. Okay? So, decision making. Why is that something that makes the list? Because I'll give you a little example. How about that? So if it is, let's say you're out, right? And you're driving, you really haven't come up with what you want to do, where you want to go, right? It looks like confusion. That's first. And that leads to bigger arguments. Just the fact that you haven't decided what you want to eat, right? So you ask, okay, so what do you want to eat? I don't know, it doesn't matter. Well, I mean, aren't you hungry?
Yeah.
You know what you have a taste for?
I said it doesn't matter.
Well, okay, all right. So, all right, let's go to Ruth Chris.
I don't want either.
Okay. Taco Bell.
What?
So where you want to eat then?
It doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter. I just asked you, do you want to go to Ruth Chris or do you want to go to Taco Bell, and you didn't want to go to either?
Well, I don't want to go to either. Let's go somewhere else, but I don't want to go there.
Okay, so do you have a taste for something? What do you have a taste for?
It doesn't matter. I keep telling you it doesn't matter.
So let's do pasta then. Let's go with some Italian.
Pasta? I don't need all those carbs.
Oh my gosh. There you go. So you see what I'm saying?
Now, I don't think trying to decide where to go eat is going to break a relationship up, and if it does, then it wasn't a relationship that was going to make it anyway. But it's the fact that your decision-making process, whatever it is, however it is, if you aren't able to come together and make a decision, or if your significant other makes decisions off the cuff and you're an organized person and you feel like you can't handle that, then that can contribute to, a lot of tension in a relationship.
Yes.
Hence, you like, okay, I can't take this. So the decision-making process, how that's done, what that looks like, it can cause stress in a relationship.
And it always leads to something bigger. Because then people start pulling out their pet peeves and their past things that has irritated them. So try to work with the other person, no matter which side you're on. If you were the side that you didn't know what you wanted, or if you're on the side that's asking the question, it doesn't matter. Figure out how to come up with a solution that's viable for both. And don't get frustrated by the process, because you'll figure it out as your relationship grows, what their likes and dislikes are. Number 4.
Go ahead.
Goals. So, for me, when you look at why goals are on the list of reasons a relationship goes bad, because to me, I feel like every relationship needs to have a common goal. A lot of times when a relationship starts, the first goal that you have is spending time with each other, right? And then that grows. The next goal may be to have kids, right? Or your next goal may be to get married, or your next goal may be to become serious, right? But every time you have these goals that keep on stacking on themselves. And once you keep stacking these goals, what happens is once you get married, where do you go from there? What's your next goal? People get married and then they have no more goals, right? They have individual goals, but not collective goals. And when you stop the collective goals, then you can't move together. You can't grow together because you have no commonality between the two, right? So, I mean, even though you get married, okay, some people's next goal is to get a house, right? So you get your house. Then what? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have something. And so I feel like that number 4 is very pertinent because you gotta have common goals. And it'll lead to a better relationship because you both are always going. So have you noticed whenever you have a common goal, when you with your significant other and you have a common goal, the relationships gets real good? Like you're both vibing together, you know, you're building toward this thing and everybody's okay. And then as soon as you have no goal, everybody's just like
unless you have a goal and y'all don't have a good decision making process. And so now your decision making process sucks and working towards the goal sucks, and then you just have a sucky relationship.
What? So, I mean, but work together, figure out a common goal.
Yeah. So number 3, outsiders. Now, we all have friends, we all have families, and everybody has an opinion. However, you can't let everybody's opinion into your relationship.
Facts.
Because it will break that up.
Facts.
If you don't have people in your life that love you both, and in loving you both realize that anything is possible, so they're not going to take sides, and they can speak truth in love and with love, then you don't need to have them in your relationship. And that's because anybody can say whatever, and anybody can say, oh, you don't need to be with her, you don't need to be with him, or if I was, or if it were me. But does that matter for this situation? Are you able to help, or, well, is that person or are those people able to help you think through something and make a decision on your own, right, versus inserting what they think is best for you into your relationship?
Yeah. A lot of times outsiders will drop seeds, right?
Right.
And then they keep watering them. And you have to be watchful for that. Because people can say stuff and you hear it, right? You have the conversation with them, they say whatever they say, and you hear it. But it's on you, as whatever side you are in that relationship, to filter that, right? You filter it, and it may give you a little bit of knowledge into a certain situation, but you filter it for you and your situation because nobody knows your situation like you do.
That's true.
You know, and so you listen to it, but you're like, you know, I mean, it's better if it's not around you, but if it's a family member or a real close friend that you've had for a long time, you may respect that person's opinion, right? Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that that person's opinion needs to run your life,
right, or
your relationship, right? So make sure that you are mindful of those seeds that get planted, because they'll start to germinate and fester. And then when that situation comes up again in your relationship, you're like, oh, so-and-so said that you was gonna, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
No, leave that out.
And another thing is that you may be able to forgive and move on. But outsiders, they don't forgive and they don't move on. So they're constantly bringing up stuff that you've gotten over, or they're constantly holding something over somebody's head, and you're like, oh, dang, I forgot all about that, because you have moved on. You're in that relationship and you're in that space with that person, and you're trying to better yourself and better the relationship that you're in, but somebody else outside of the relationship is holding stuff over your head. And if you don't have people in your life who can be unbiased, and when you make a decision of what you're going to do in your relationship, and they're like, you know, okay, well, I'll support you in that area and keep it moving, and then let it go, like they're not bringing it up like, oh, he ain't call you back. What he doing, girl? Or you know, oh, she being disrespectful, she ain't cooking, she ain't fixing your plate, or whatever, you know, these things are that people be trying to say. You know, if they're constantly bringing it up as a reminder, then that means that you can't let that stuff go. You can't move on, and it kind of holds you in a place of contention, and you're not trying to be there. So, yeah.
Now, I do want to put a disclaimer here.
Okay.
I want to put a disclaimer of, if it is a violent relationship and someone is trying to help you out, or something that has you, you may be physically harmed or even mentally harmed, right? Then, you know that you're in a place that's not right. I believe, you know, if it's physical or if it's verbal abuse, right, where it gets really aggressive and stuff like that, then
let an outsider help you.
Yeah.
Because you may not be able to, you may not have the strength on your own, and you may need to lean on someone else, and that's when an outsider does come in handy.
Right.
But just you know, you're gossiping, you know, who want to be telling you what you should do in your relationship, but you know, not really supporting you in any relationship type people. Now
you know the difference.
You do.
I know you'll feel it inside. You know the difference between the two. All right.
So the next one, money.
Woo, baby.
Money.
Finances.
Yeah. That can be a big reason why relationships don't succeed. And you know, when you get stressed out, you know when the bills are due, you know when you don't have enough money, and you know your response to your significant other when this happens, or if your significant other spends money on things that you don't feel they need to be spending money on, but to them it's important. I mean, it's all of these things that factor in, and it's arguments, it's stress, it's this, that, and the third, and it
literally is a relationship killer.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I would venture to say, if we put them in order, this would be either one or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to be willing to be transparent. You have to be willing to talk openly, and you have to be willing to be accountable. And if it requires that you step outside of your relationship and maybe get a financial planner or an accountant or somebody else who can help you with your finances, maybe somebody to help teach you how to budget. I know for us, we had a friend, or have a friend, who is all about financial healing and restoration, and has a financial business. And back when he was endeavoring to do this, we all did the Dave Ramsey plan together, and he answered questions, he taught, he was a good friend to help give input and insight that helped to establish financial freedom, financial understanding. And it was us being brave enough to step outside of our relationship and trust someone else who had a little bit more knowledge than we did at the time to help us through that. So if that's what you need to do, because your relationship is important to you and you want to be in a financially good place, then get assistance.
But
there are some outsiders that are beneficial. Like if you need a therapist, go get one.
Right.
And a therapist is an unbiased source, by the way. They should be.
Right, they should be. But let me tell you this. Relationships are not about money.
Right.
That is the key. And a lot of people keep their, or figure that they're going to, you know, some women say, oh, I'm gonna marry a guy with a lot of money, right? And then there's some guys who get with women because they got money. So it goes both ways. But the truth of the matter is, a relationship should not be based on somebody else's value, meaning monetarily, right? Money is not the thing that should keep you together or break you up. Because when you base a relationship on money, and money is so fickle, if it goes up, you know, does that mean your relationship gets better? Honestly? So think about that. Like,
right, because who you are without money is going to be the same person you are with money. Like, if you crazy and you spend money frivolously, then you're going to do that whether you have money or not. Like, that if money's tight, if you have $5 but you want to go spend that $5 on whatever you want to spend it on instead of, you know, putting it to the side because you know you got a bill coming up, or you know you got to go somewhere, and you can put that $5 with your other $5 so you can get some gas, whatever the case may be. If you're a frivolous spender, you're going to be that whether you have money or not.
exactly. One's just going to get amplified.
Right.
Once you have more, it's going to get amplified.
That's what money does. It amplifies the issue.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So don't base your relationship on money.
Yeah.
Base it on our next thing.
No. Communication. We talk about that all the time because communication is important. And it's not just your ability to talk, because people can talk. It's your ability to effectively communicate and, effectively speak, but also listen. Mm-hmm. So you might be an articulate person and you may be able to speak eloquently, but you don't listen. So you don't hear what it is that your significant other is saying. And so they're like, okay, you never listen to me. And you're like, well, yeah, I do, but no, you don't, because you're always talking. So communication is it's a two-way street. Mm-hmm. It's a two-way street. You have to listen and speak.
The biggest thing is the listening part.
Right.
Because anybody can speak. Anybody can say, you know, or not anybody, but a lot of people can actually take the thoughts that are in their mind and verbally say it.
Right.
But the key is, can you shut off your mind that wants to talk whenever someone else is talking, so you can actually listen and process the things that they are saying?
Right.
Because a lot of people just listen so they can answer.
Yeah.
They want to listen so they can debate. They want to listen for keywords that they can jump on to tell you how what you're saying is wrong.
Right.
That's not how you listen. Like, when you're listening, you have to listen to what someone's saying, so then you can process it and give an adequate answer that speaks to that thing they said.
Right. And also, when you're communicating, this is just a little nugget, just a little golden nugget that I'm dropping for you. Be mindful of your words, though, because your words are very powerful. So when you are communicating with your significant other, when you're communicating with your kids, when you're communicating in your workplace, wherever it is, be aware of the words that you're choosing, because they can be a seed, take root, and grow. So if you are telling your spouse something, don't tell your spouse, oh, you're stupid, you never listen to me. Well, one, that's derogatory, but two, it's also planting a seed. And depending upon where your spouse is, or significant other, what space, what headspace they're in,
what they're dealing with,
you know, that could take root, and they could take that on as their truth. And you have to be aware of this. So speak life and speak good things. Speak things that you want to see in your spouse. And I can promise you that hasn't always been the case for me, because I'm that person. I say what I see. I'm a realist. And so I see it. And sometimes I feel like when you're saying things like, okay, let's say his hair is short. Not right now, but let's say that his hair was short. So my thing is, I'm not going to be like, oh, you got such long, luscious, beautiful hair. If his hair is short, like, I feel like that's a lie. Like, why am I saying that? That's not true. And so sometimes, you know, you tell people, well, you should say this, and this, or you should speak this, and this. And it's like, well, that ain't right. But what do you want to see happen? What do you want to see manifest? Sometimes you have to affirm people. You have to affirm yourself. And in doing so, you may say something that you don't see just yet, but it's what you want to see, so you're speaking it into existence. So
and you know it's possible for them.
Right. So if you want your spouse or your significant other to listen to you, to hear your heart, you can say, I appreciate you hearing my heart. I appreciate you listening to me when I speak. You know, it's as simple as that. It's just being mindful of the words that we use. And that is a big, huge, gigantic lesson that I learned not just for my relationship, well, our relationship and in our relationship, but for me as a person. And it's also something that I help my clients with.
Well, on that note, we thank you guys for joining us on this Relationship Sunday. This has now been week number 3.
Yep, week number 3.
And we really appreciate you guys. We hope you're liking the content. We hope that you are getting something out of this, because our intent is for us to be able to use our experiences over the last 24 years and help others, because relationship is huge, and that's the only way that we grow community. It's all based on relationships. Okay, so join us next week. We'll be back. Join us tomorrow. We have another episode coming up for Vlogmas 2018. Hope you liked the last episodes. And did you look at my eyes today? Are they wider? Let us know in the comments, because I did do the episode yesterday about the Lumify stuff and my eyes being, my situation with that. So let us know. See? Maybe? No? Okay. Well.
And if there is a topic that you would like for us to talk about on Relationship Sunday, then put it in the comments. Or email it to us at family@teambz.com. And also, we're going to bring the rest of the team in here for some of these relationship talks. They have interesting opinions.
Very interesting.
And you can always listen to some of those opinions on our podcast, Another One. It is available on iTunes, Google Play, and Alexa Skills. So, that's right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So if you are interested in hearing us all together talk and share our opinions in a structuredly unstructured platform, the Another One podcast is the place to be. Why? Because we are the
coolest family in podcasting. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week for Relationship Sundays with Rich
and KhadijahRBz. Follow me on Instagram. I'm out.
@RichBz. We out.